What if I told you that you could automate 99% of content creation, you can actually make it better than what you're making it right now, and it would still be your authentic voice? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, I'm living proof that it works. I only have to work 1 hour a week on my channel, and I make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. And the secret is a system that does the heavy lifting for me. And today I'm gonna be pulling back the curtain. I'm gonna be showing you exactly how I do it. Now, these are the same systems that took me years of being in the trenches, figuring things out to basically figure out how it works. And I'm gonna be giving them to you right now for free. So if you like me doing this type of content, gently tap that like button to let me know. And let's jump into it right now. Okay, so step one is to pick your mother platform, right? Because there's a lot of different social media platforms out there that you can upload content to, but you want to focus on one of them as your mother platform. So you can think of this kind of as the center of your content universe. Everything else revolves around it. And in my opinion, the two best mother platforms are YouTube and email newsletters. Now, an email newsletter is a weekly or regular email that you send to subscribers. But I actually recommend YouTube as your mother platform, and here's why. When you write an email newsletter, that's a ton of work. You have to sit down and write everything out word for word, and you have to send it regularly every single week. Then, if you want to turn it into a video, you'd have to read it like a script, and that's exhausting. But with YouTube, you can just hit record and talk. You can share what's on your mind, share what you've learned, share what you're working on, and it's kind of like making a helpful video for a friend, but you just end up posting it publicly. And that is exactly what I did with my second channel, where I grew it from $0 to $30,000 a month in 1 month. I made the most basic content, literally Loom videos, and posted them on that channel. And I usually either didn't edit the videos at all, or there was very minimal editing. And again, it almost felt like I was just having a conversation with a good friend, but in my case, the friend was my webcam or camera. And once you have that video, you can do so much with it. You can get it transcribed, and that means you can turn it into written text, for instance, a newsletter, or you can just take little parts of it and turn that into emails. You can create social media posts from it. You can make short clips from it for other platforms. And the key point here is this: YouTube becomes the center and everything else spins off from it. And that is why it's called the mother platform. So a lot of the time, what you can do is just kind of jot down some of your thoughts really quickly, make a quick little outline. You can put it above your camera, below your camera, to the side of your camera, whatever you want, or just put it on your computer. And I don't recommend trying to read things word for word. I recommend basically just making bullet points and then just talking about those bullet points as you go along. However, if you want to, you can also turn it into a word for word script and then read it on teleprompt. Additionally, another way of doing this is to write out a word for word script, have it as something like an email newsletter, and then just simply turn that word for word script, like literally read the word for word script and turn it into a YouTube video. So there's many different ways of doing this, but either way, I recommend that you use YouTube as your mother platform, because it is significantly easier to turn a longer video into shorter pieces of content than to turn shorter pieces of content into a longer video. All right, quick break. This Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm hosting a free live workshop called Make Money with YouTube in 2025. If you've been struggling to find your YouTube niche, or you don't want to spend months or even years building a channel around something that isn't profitable or just doesn't work for you in general, then this workshop is for you. Because for everyone who shows up live, I'll be giving away the Niche Validator 2.5. This is the most advanced version of my GPT-powered niche validation tool yet, and it's designed to help you instantly test and uncover profitable YouTube niches before you invest your time, money, and effort into the wrong one. And it's the most refined, data-driven version so far, and I'll be giving it away completely free, but only during this live workshop. So attend the free live workshop by clicking that link down the description and the pinned comment below to grab it. You'll also be able to ask me questions live, so I look forward to meeting you. Oh, and just a heads up, this will be probably one of the last times I'll be giving away a version of the Niche Validator for free, so make sure you click that link and show up to the workshop. Make sure you put it in your calendar, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay, step 2, turn your video into written content. So here's what happens after you make a YouTube video. First, you get a transcript. Now, there are free websites out there where you can just paste your YouTube URL. ChatGPT is one of them, for instance. You can just go to the bottom of the description, click transcript, copy and paste that into ChatGPT, and then make it into a nicely formatted transcript. Now, it might need small corrections here and there, but it's pretty accurate. Second, you want to extract the best parts. So you can do this yourself, of course. You can have someone on your team do it, or you can just copy and paste paste it and put it into ChatGPT and just ask ChatGPT for the best parts. Third, you turn it into written posts. So you can take those valuable pieces and you can create posts for something like X or Twitter. You can also create posts in the style of an Instagram carousel. You can create Facebook posts with stories. You can create Instagram captions or carousels, like I said before. And those are basically like the swipeable image posts that you see on Instagram. You can also create LinkedIn articles. You can create email newsletters or just individual email posts, etc., etc. And the content that performs well can even inspire your next video. So it's kind of like a feedback loop. You see what people love and you make more of that. And by taking the tiny little individual parts out of your video and then posting them on other platforms, you're going to see that some of them do better than others. And chances are you should make more long form content about the little pieces that do better. Then step 3 is to repost your video on other platforms. So you can take that same YouTube video and you can post it on other platforms. For instance, you can post it on X, which is Twitter. You can post it on Facebook, and you can post it on LinkedIn. Now, you might need to split longer videos into parts. Just as an example, LinkedIn has a 15-minute limit, at least at the time of making this video. And an important note here is that this works best for authentic educational content. Content where you're teaching or sharing real experiences. So if you're trying to make highly produced entertainment content, this strategy might not work as well. Now, by the way, if you need help in what type of content to make, picking your niche, figuring out video ideas, and figuring out how to also monetize your channel, and also just knowing the most important parts of growing and making money from YouTube, I got you covered. I have a completely free live training that I'm doing this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll only be doing this live training one time, and I'll be giving away an AI that makes all of this process so much easier, and I'll only be giving this AI away one time as well for free. And I'll answer literally any question that you have on growing and making money on YouTube or distributing the content to other platforms. So do not miss out on this one-time training. Click that link in the description and the pinned comment below to sign up. Also, make sure you put it in your calendar, and I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, step 4 is to create short form clips. So you can have someone cut your long videos into short clips. And if you don't have someone to do that, I have another solution for you in a moment. But these are 30 to 60 second clips, and you can post these on Instagram Reels, post them on TikTok, post them on YouTube Shorts, and of course, post them on Facebook. And something interesting that I've learned is sometimes these little clips actually perform better than the content that is specifically created for those platforms, which is wild, but it happens. Just as an example, I've taken some random clips from college degree videos that I made years ago, put them on Instagram, and they did incredibly well. And it wasn't natively made for Instagram. Now you might be thinking, Shane, I cannot afford a clipper, right? I can't afford to have somebody take, the good clips from the videos and post them on other platforms. And also I don't have time to do it myself. So what should I do? Well, there is a really good tool called Opus, and it will do this automatically for you. It basically finds the clippable moments using AI, and it will actually take those and turn them into clips that you can put on other platforms. And it does it pretty much automatically. Now, it is a phenomenal tool. Is it as good as a world-class clipper? Of course not. But is it good enough to get started with this process? Absolutely. And it'll save you a massive amount of time. Not sponsored by Opus, but I do think it's a great tool, so you can check it out if you'd like. Okay, step 5 is to build your system. Now, this is where the magic happens. You need to design a well-organized system with clear processes. And what you'll need to figure out is this: which steps can be automated? Which steps can be automated by a system? Which steps can be done by AI, and which steps need to have humans overlook it? Oh, and of course, which steps do you need to do yourself? And here's what I discovered after years of testing. The only step that you absolutely have to do is record the original YouTube video. And actually, you don't need to do that. In fact, I've helped several of my clients completely outsource themselves from their own channels. Just as an example, Davis did this. He owned a portfolio of different companies, and he did love his YouTube channel. It was a great asset, but it was taking up a lot of his time. And so we made a plan to actually have other people record for him on his channel. And now he spends 0 hours a week on his YouTube channel. But for most of my clients, they still at least do the recording themselves. Now you might be thinking, Shane, this is not going to be authentic content. It's going to be someone else writing for me. And actually, if you do it the right way, it can absolutely be authentic content. It can sound exactly like you, and it can be very high quality. And typically, the way that you do this is, first of all, you take content that you've already made. Then you take any content that you've put into courses or anything like that. And then you take content that has heavily inspired you or influenced you. And then you can put them all into either a GPT on ChatGPT or a project on something like Claude. And then you can either have Claude or ChatGPT make the content for you, or you can train people on your team to make the content for you as well. You can also create a document with your life story, so it can automatically create anecdotes from your life. You can have another document where you share random stuff that you're doing. Maybe you share pictures to that document, etc. So things that have happened to you recently and little insights that you've had, almost like a daily diary. Then you can have another document that has a bunch of your testimonials if you're selling some type of product or service. And you can put all of that into a Claude project or ChatGPT, GPT if you prefer that. I prefer Claude personally. I think it's better. But if you have the right prompts and the right GPT, ChatGPT can be quite good as well. And then it can create some super high quality content that's as good as what you could make yourself. And then of course you can always change things, right? If you read something while you're recording the video and you don't agree with it, you can always change on the fly. Just as an example, when I'm reading a script, I usually go about 50% off the script and 50% off the top of my head. Now, another trick that you can do here is, let's just say you're making a video that has 5 tips for how to do something. You can have the people writing your scripts or the AI that's writing your scripts do 10 tips instead of 5, and then just pick your 5 favorite ones. So yeah, that's it. Now, it might not be absolutely perfect the first time you try it. This is where you have feedback and iteration. And every time you do feedback and iteration on the system, whether it's telling your scriptwriter what you'd like or fixing the AI, it's going to get better and better. And so technically, all you have to do is record the videos. Now, do I always do that? No. Sometimes I enjoy writing scripts. In many cases, of course, I enjoy writing scripts. But the key here is I don't have to write the scripts. I do it if I want to. I don't have to come up with the video ideas. I do it if I want to. But if I'm busy or I don't want to do it, I have a system that takes care of it for me. And by the way, this is not that uncommon. Even late night show hosts almost never write their own material. They have writers who write the material for them. Same thing with news anchors, same thing with just about any other type of media out there. Even Alex Hormozi, he's probably the most well-known name in the make money online space, has a bunch of people on his team and really smart creative directors that help him to make his content. And of course, don't get me wrong, he probably adds a lot to that content, and it either directly or indirectly comes from him because he has some really good written resources like his books. But in many cases, his team is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So yeah, all you have to do is record. One video might take, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes max. And then the entire system takes care of everything else automatically. Now, let me break this down for beginners first, then I'll talk about scaling up. For beginners, when you're starting out, keep it super simple. Come up with your own video ideas, record quick, authentic videos sharing what you're learning. Don't worry about fancy scripts. I recommend just a very quick outline and just share your genuine experiences. Now, you might do most steps yourself at first, and that's totally fine. As you grow, you can gradually add help. For instance, as you scale, eventually you might hire people for these roles. A video editor, they can cut and polish your videos. A thumbnail designer, they can make those clickable images that you see on YouTube. And a scriptwriter or a creative director, they can help outline your videos for more produced content. And the creative director would also oversee everything and do the quality control on the content as well. Now, most of my team is from the Philippines. They have great English skills, they understand Western culture, and they grow up watching American movies. And there's tons of creative talent there. Plus, it's much more affordable due to lower cost of living. Okay, step 6, distribute everything. Take all that content that you created and spread it across all platforms. And this is called syndicating content. Basically, it's just posting the same valuable content in different places where your audience hangs out. So kind of like I said before, Twitter or X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc.
What's happening, guys? In the editing process of this video, and I have an opportunity for a select group of people. So these are people who are serious about growing their personal brand on YouTube. So basically, we figured out recently how to grow a personal brand and combine all the upsides of a personal brand with the upsides of automation, right? Using AI, using things like this to basically grow your personal brand 10 times faster, which in the past used to take decades to do. And now you can do it significantly faster. And you can do this to get a better job. You know, we work with beginners that just want to get a better job with their personal brand. You can do this to make money as a side hustle. We work with a lot of people like that. We can do this to make more money if you already have a side hustle or a small business. Or if you're already crushing it on YouTube, we can help you crush it 10 times more. We've worked with people like that as well. I mean, I literally can show clients at each level. People that we've gotten from 0 to over 10K, 0 to like over 30K, from like 1K per month all the way up to 185K per month, from around 30K per month all the way up to over 500K per month. So literally at every single level, and it works for everyone in every situation. With that being said, we are only working with 3 to 5 people, and they have to be people who are very serious, right? People who are dedicated to making this work. So if you think you're that type of person, go ahead and apply it down in the description and the pinned comment below, and you could be part of our group of 3 to 5 that we help. So see you there. Have a good one.
And then step 7, and this is one of the most important steps that a lot of people skip, and that is analyze what works. So look at which content performs well and which doesn't. And here's what's interesting, different types of content work better for different people. So you need to test things out. Let me explain the content types that usually work the best. Listicles. Listicles are list-based videos. Almost all the content that I make on this channel is in listicle format. 7 ways to do something, 5 steps to achieve something, top 5 college degrees that are actually worth it, the most useless degrees, 5 weird YouTube channels that are making 10K per month. Now, people love these because they're easy to follow and they promise clear takeaways. Another really good one is how-tos and explainers. And these are videos where you explain a process or strategy. How I grew to 100K subscribers, how I get clients from my business, how I make money on YouTube. People want to learn from your experience and they want to learn what to avoid. Now, one trap here is to be the tutorial guy, right? So don't do technical tutorials where you tell somebody to click here and then click there and then type this in and do all that kind of thing. When you do that, you're selling the 12-hour flight, not the destination. So usually that's not a good idea. And it's pretty boring and it doesn't really build a strong audience. People might watch one of your videos, then never watch your video again. Also, don't focus on pure entertainment. Make educational content instead, and you can make the educational content a little bit more entertaining because people buy from teachers, not entertainers, right? You want to be a mentor to them, not a dancing clown, not a court jester. Another thing is to either show your face, or if you are going to make a faceless channel, make sure you have some sort of animated or AI avatar. Now, the reason that this is important is because you want them to see you as another person, right? So it's important for you to build a personal brand. Now, I typically recommend showing your face, but one of my clients, for instance, Wiz of Ecom, he started off with an AI or animated avatar, and he actually scaled his business all the way to 7 figures anonymously with that animated avatar. So you can definitely do it, but I usually recommend that people make a personal brand because it's just way easier to grow. And it's just simply because people connect with people, right? It's so much easier to get someone to know, like, and trust you if they can actually see your face and relate to you. Now, another thing you want to do is, generally speaking, try to talk about high-level strategy and share the big picture. Give away the best stuff at a high level, but focus on the 80-20, right? Focus on the stuff that's the most important, the 20% that gets 80% of the results. Think of it this way. Don't sell the flight, sell the destination, right? Everyone wants to go to Hawaii, Thailand, or Italy, but nobody enjoys the 12-hour flight it takes to get there. So don't make your content about the tedious journey, make it about the amazing destination. And generally speaking, almost all content, if you think about it, is a listicle. Just as an example, a book is filled with chapters. What are chapters? Well, they're a list. Courses are usually filled with modules. What are modules? They're a list. Step-by-step guides. What are the steps? They're a list. For instance, there's usually 12 steps to every single movie. And what are those? Well, that is a list, right? So no matter what type of content you're making, you can break it down into smaller pieces and make it into a list, and that makes it a lot easier to create. Now, by the way, if you're confused about how to do that, again, what type of content to make, etc., just attend my training this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I'll be explaining that in detail and I'll answer every single question you have, and I'll give you tools that make it a lot easier. So just click that link in the description and attend the live training, and I'll answer any questions that you have. Now, my final thoughts are, if you're just starting out, here's my advice. Keep it simple. Make authentic content where you just share what you're learning along the way. You're documenting your journey. 90% of my clients that are successful don't have to learn much in the way of new skills. They're basically just sharing what they already know. For instance, I have clients that teach people how to get IT jobs or cybersecurity jobs or high-level accounting jobs. I have clients that teach people how to get in shape because they got in shape before themselves, etc., etc. So focus on creating really good video ideas and everything else will fall into place. Then, as you grow, you can gradually syndicate your content out. And that means spread it across all platforms and build systems to automate the whole process. Now, if you're still confused and overwhelmed with this automation and you need someone to help you, right? You need someone to look at your specific specific situation and give you feedback, and you really want some one-on-one support, then go ahead and book a call down the description in the pinned comment below. Should be the second link down there. On this call, we'll figure out where you are right now, where you want to be, we'll make a plan to get there, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. Only book this call if you are very serious about growing and making money on YouTube, because we can only work with a limited amount of people in a one-on-one capacity. For the rest of you, just enjoy my free content, enjoy my free live trainings, and you can definitely still get there on your own. But with that being said, if you're interested in working with me, check out this video where I interview one of my clients, Sean, who is making $30,000 a month, and we helped him scale all the way up to over $500,000 a month on YouTube. And you can check that out by clicking right here.